trying to paint a picture here. So they have this testing facility, and you get told it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go out here, and they've built these camps, and they built a tower, and this tower is what, 1,500 feet tall?
Yeah. Well, the first one was a bomb in a balloon.
Okay, so for people that don't understand, and I was not there. This is just what I've read briefly. When Operation PLUMBOB is when the United States military kind of went on this atomic bomb testing spree, I would call it. I've looked at the list of the tests, and it's like, holy cow. You're out on these camps. How did they develop? Like, what's the scenario like where they're doing this testing, and where are you guys supposed to be placed?
They were doing work. I mean, what they call? They wanted to tell everybody what we're doing over there. Just pretending like they're having a war and stuff.
Okay.
So they didn't tell us anything what was going to really happen. They just say, okay, you're going to go to this trench, get in there, and then the bomb will go off.
So they built a trench.
Yeah.
For you guys, and how deep is this trench?
It's 6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah.
Well, you're taller than 6 feet, probably, aren't you?
No, I'm just 6 feet.
Man, were people shorter back then?
They were shorter.
Yeah. Okay.
I was long. I was tall at 6 feet.
Isn't that's wild to me? So they build these trenches. Is there buildings and things that they're
buildings? Yeah, there's buildings there too.
Because they were doing what do they call, like civil impact testing or something like that?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So they were trying to test what would happen to a civilization, basically,
right?
Like structures and humans.
Right.
Was there animals involved?
No, not really. It's in the desert there.
Okay. So you go out there, you get in these trenches, and can you guys see? It's a blimp. They were using a blimp, right, to carry the first one in?
The first one, I think they just had us laying ground on the ground then.
Okay.
So we just laid on the ground. Okay, then 6 weeks later, they dug the trench and had the tower on the big bomb on it.
Okay.
And then they put us in the trench and set the bomb off.
And this one was Hood. They call it
yes.
Hood. Wayne, can you bring that bomb up here so we can? This is wild to me. So they build you guys 6 foot trenches to hide in. We can watch it right here in front of us. If you want.
Yeah.
So when this bomb is going off, they detonate it in the tower.
Right.
With a button.
Yeah.
And how far? And this button is 1,500 feet above ground.
Yes.
And you guys are in the trenches.
Right at the trench.
So can you describe to us what happened as you're watching this?
Okay, when the bomb went off, the ground started shaking, and I was told to put my hand over my eyes, and when you did, I could see the bone on my arm with my eyes closed.
Yeah,
that's how bright it was. So that when and then the bomb went off, and with the ground shaking, and I couldn't, because I was above ground, I had to kneel down to keep from getting hit with radiation too hard, because when the bomb went off, the grass and the grass and the bushes were on fire when they did that. So apparently, because I couldn't go deep enough.
Because you were on a bump, right, in the trench. You said,
the trench was not cleaned.
Yeah,
they didn't have anybody walk through the trench to see if it was safe. So I had to lean down. I put my head on the ground, and then when the bomb went off, it knocked me out. And when the bomb went off, it burned all of my sensors in my body. I have no pain sensors in my body at all. So I woke up about they said about 20 minutes after the bomb, they hauled me out of the trench, and they told me that I'll be fine. So the next month and a half, they had to wake me up every morning because I would not wake up.
Yeah.
They had to actually wake me up. They did that for a month and a half, and then they sent us home.
No questions asked.
Nope.
Now, do you think I'm trying to process this. I couldn't even imagine. So at this time, you're going in and out of consciousness.
Yeah.
For a month and a half, and they have to, were they looking at you as a research study or anything like that? Or
No.
was it it was like,
Nope.
we don't want this.
They didn't want to say anything. They said, okay, go eat.
Yeah.
Next morning, hey, wake up, go eat.
So you were just viewed as like a consumable for them at this time.
Yeah.
This is so much to process. So what were you thinking during this time? Or were you able to? Was there?
Oh, yeah. I had no problem thinking because that part of my brain was functioning.
Right. At what time, what point did you realize that you had been damaged?
The last month I was in the service, we went to another camp there, and I was not doing things I was supposed to do. You know, I was going against the sergeants. I tell them, no, you can't do that. You're going to hurt these people. Because I was not thinking right, you know.
Yeah.
So they took my sergeant's stripe away because I was not doing right.
Yeah.
Things I shouldn't do.
A little bit of rebellion.
Yeah.
So it's funny you bring that up because, you know, with recently the movie Oppenheimer coming out, after they tested the bomb, he kind of went through that process where he was like, oh, we can't, this is not good.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of went to a more sensitive side of it.
Right.
It seemed like, and
That's the way I felt too.
Yeah.
After that, you know.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And I was helping these guys these young guys trying to get through the service, you know. And I got in trouble because of that. And they took my sergeants away.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Because it's probably hard to fathom, like, you have to almost remove reality.
Yep.
You know, like to be able to, like, that baffles me. So the extent of the damage to you was your nerve sensors.
Yeah, and my brain.
Your brain.
It damned it. The damage is so bad that 3/4 of my brain is gone.
Wow.
I talked with the VA and I tried to get them to help. And they says, well, I'm going to test you see how smart you are. So they test me and they said I got 140 IQ. Big deal. It doesn't be any good because half my brain is gone.
Yeah. Cut it in half. Yeah. What functions of your brain did you notice that were noticeable to you?
The way I respond to other people. I feel no feelings of anybody.
No emotion.
There was a lady in New York. They dropped a card onto her head, and she told 2 years ago. Anyway, she told everybody what she felt.
Yeah.
And that was when I found out that that's the way I feel.
That's what happened.
And I didn't know that. I did not know that until that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because nobody tests me for anything.
Yeah. You kind of just had to self-reflect and then find somebody that it's not very common. You're going to find somebody that was damaged by a nuclear bomb and be able to be like, well, what happened to you? You know, that's not a conversation you have at the dinner table with very many people. I mean, it's not a laughing matter, but it's, you know, some of those things you have to look back on and be like, you know, your opportunity to talk to somebody that can relate to that is slim to none, I imagine. So at this point, so let's go back. I want to go back. You got discharged from the military?
Right.
They kicked you out or?
No, it was time to get out.
Yeah.
After 4 years, I just quit.
Okay. And when you were was it a hard decision for you, or you were like, I'm not doing this anymore?
No, I wanted out then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what did you do after?
I went to school in Boise, Idaho to get some schooling, and I wanted to be a engineer, but I couldn't make it because my brain is damaged so bad. So I talked to one of the counselors, VA counselors, and he says, why don't you go to Pocatello? They have a class there of doing electronics. So I went 3 years to that electronics school and passed that AA degree there. And then I moved to Las Vegas to Nevada test site there.
Okay.
At EG&G.
So you went back for more.
That's funny too, because at the time when I went to work there at EG&G, I asked one of the guys, he used to take the film badges over to the shots 7 years before. Mm-hmm. I asked him how come he didn't give us our unit so I can tell us how much radiation we got.
Yeah.
He says, well, I was sleeping that day. I got there 20 minutes late.
Yeah, just happened to be. So this gave you proof of that they didn't have, because they don't have it documented that you were there that day.
No.
And so you just got lost in the woodwork. Basically, you experienced this damage, and nobody did anything to represent you and what had caused. And did you feel any like victimhood from that? Like, did you ever look at it and be like, they owe me anything? Or
No.
did you just go about your business?
I just went about it because my brain was not all feelings of other people's feelings. I don't have them. It's gone. So I just do the thing I do all the time.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Let me do my thing. That's it.
I'm sure I'll be reviewing this for a while and thinking about it. So I was wondering if we could go back. You brought up the VA not helping you.
Right.
And there's no record of you being there.
Right.
Except for your experiences. And could you talk about some of your injuries that you've endured and the way you experienced them because of the damage?
Well, what happened is it burned all of the sensors, pain sensors is gone out of my body. So I don't feel any pain at all, which is nice because it's when you have pain, you get old fast.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting old very fast. It burned up my vagus nerve, so my brain doesn't talk with my stomach anymore. So I have to be careful what I eat, and I belch all the time because I don't communicate with my brain all the time.
Yeah.
So it's hard on that. And then with the concussion I got, and I didn't realize that I don't really feel things about people because it's gone. Part of my brain is gone that makes you realize how people feel.
Yeah. I can't. I'm trying to think of how to word this question because do you even notice it? Like, do you notice it or do people have to tell you about it? Like,
I don't notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People tell me that, oh, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Well, they do that to me too. So you're not alone in that. There's some judgment going on around there. So you've experienced injuries, some pretty extensive injuries, and you noticed no pain?
No.
Like, I think you were telling me about you had a leg injury, right?
Yes.
How did that
well, what happened? I was working on our house, and I was trying to work on, and I got on a ladder and I fell onto the stairs, and it broke my hip. And they took me to the hospital, and they said that be careful, but I had no pain, so I had, and there was no doctor there, so I had to stay in the hospital all night while they pulled my leg up, and then they fixed the bone and fix it so they could put a bar in there
In your femur?
on my femur. But I had no pain at all.
That's wild, because I've heard that's one of the most painful injuries there is your hip or your femur.
Right.
And so did you even know? You just knew because your leg wouldn't work very well, or
No.
or was it sticking out?
The bone would try to get out.
Oh, and you couldn't feel it.
Uh-uh.
That's incredible.